Toast it up, man. Toast it up.
Toasty.
Hey, look.
Toasty.
And toast is about right because we got something to toast to. It's the year end of 2024. We coming to a close, man.
Yeah.
2025 is on the brink.
Yeah, by the time y'all get this, 2025 will be just a matter of hours away.
Yeah.
And it's going to be another exciting year, hopefully.
It will be. I mean, like, definitely something to celebrate, something to be excited about, in my opinion. You know, I'm excited about it. I'm not really one of those people who are like big New Year's resolutionists. But I do feel like a newness and a freshness when you talk about the new year. You know what I'm saying? Like the new year comes around, I do feel a freshness behind it. But how you feel? How do you feel?
You know, I'm not a resolution guy either. I tried to be a resolution guy like maybe 1 year, and I was like, this is whack. You can just start whenever. You know what I'm saying? Why wait for the new year? You know what I'm saying? So that kind of made me let it go. But no, I can't say that I feel a freshness at the top of the year. If anything, I feel more of a freshness going into the springtime. And they say the real calendar year is the springtime. So from what I've heard, I think it was Julius Caesar. And for those nerds who know better, maybe I'm wrong, but I think it was Julius Caesar who started the whole January being the new year. And it was in honor of the god of whoever represents January.
Januus or something like that. I've heard this too. And this is crazy because it's been popping up on my TikTok lately. Like I've been seeing all this new stuff pop up on TikTok, and like, okay, we've been hearing about this. So like me, I'm never one to even really care about all of that, to whether the new year starts in January or what about the Chinese New Year? The Chinese, they got a whole other new year that they celebrate, or Christmas, and was Jesus actually born? I don't care about all that. You know what I'm saying? We got something we can mark. You know what I mean? It's cool. I'll never get tied to it, but it's just like, you know, it's something that we utilize to mark the, you know what I'm saying, our resolutions around the sun. So whether it's January, whether it's spring, which actually makes more sense for the new year to start in spring, it just makes more sense.
It just feels more like a fresh new year.
You feel alive. You know what I mean? You feel like you said, you feel that freshness in the in the springtime. You feel renewed. So I can definitely see why people would think or say that, hey, look, actually the new year actually starts in the spring. It makes more sense, and rather than a new year starting in the middle of winter, everything's still dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then you hear people run off the actual name of the months. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
October, Oct, 8. You know what I'm saying? Novi, 9. Deci, 10. Then you got January's 11, February's 12, March 1. You know what I'm saying? Like. But the history is so lost, so who knows? Like you say, there's no need to get caught up in that. But when you ask me if I feel different, I don't feel different until springtime, But beginning of the year, always just one of those things. I celebrate it, I do my thing, and then it just feels like a continuation. If I'm being honest, January just always feels like a get back month. Instead of starting the year off rejuvenated, it feels like a get back month for me. Like, all right, man, we came out of Christmas and November and Thanksgiving and all these holidays. Back on track.
Time to recover.
Let's recover. If you got a job, your vacation time is starting over, so you can't just jump out there and take vacation. Everybody's working, and you're just getting back into the grind of things.
Yeah. So maybe that's what I kind of mean by like a newness and a freshness, like starting in the new year, because it's just like it feels like a starting point. Okay, like all right, here's a starting point, and let's start the rebuilding process. That's where I kind of get in January. Like, all right, let's start the rebuilding process. What's the goals for the year, or what we just got past all of this stuff, all these festivities. All right, now that all that's behind us, where we go now? You know what I mean?
Agreed. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Now, I said I don't do resolutions, but that don't mean you don't do resolutions. Do you have a 2025 resolution?
Not necessarily. Like I said, like I'm not really a resolutionist, if that's a word. But you know what I mean? Like I just have continuation goals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm one of those people who I don't switch things up because of the new year. Like wherever I was when things were working well or where they weren't, and it's okay. What was working well for this year? What am I going to take with me into the new year? So that's
Yeah.
kind of what I am. Like I'll do that. Like I'll reflect over the past year and think about all the things that worked for me and things that didn't work, and then just kind of switch things up or continue things. So not necessarily a New Year's resolution, but okay, I reflect what went right in 2024. What did I like about some of my processes, or what didn't I like, and then let's either continue or let's pivot in a sense.
Yeah. Hey, that's actually a great segue because that's exactly what this episode will be entirely about. This episode will be a reflection on 2024 in general, from the cigars aspect of it,
Yeah,
our
yeah.
personal favorites, our personal picks. Somebody got to come through and actually clean up that abomination that aficionado did. So
We're
we'll
gonna
be
do it
the
today.
ones to
We're gonna
do
do
it.
it today.
We're going to do it
We're gonna
today.
do it today.
And
Like even
then we'll also just reflect on 2024 as a year in general, because it was one hell of a year. You know what I'm saying? So
tell me, tell me about it. Hey, look, usually like in our past New Year's episodes, we go back and we'll like say, okay, this is aficionado. We got the list, the top 25 list is out, and we'll be excited about it. But our approach this time around, we ain't even going there. We're not. I didn't even open the book on the aficionado top 10, top 25 list at all this year because it don't even matter to me.
Yeah.
Our list
I called it an abomination. I'm just kidding, aficionado. I didn't look at your list. Like you say, though, based off the past few years, there's a little distrust in your list now. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we got our weight up, and it's a little distrust now. So we kind of go our own path, respect to what you do, though.
Hey, look, man, I feel confident. My weight is up. When you talk about like our weight is up, I feel this is my approach, man. Like, I feel like when I go into cigar rooms, humidors, or whatever it is, I feel like people should know me, man. Come on now. My weight is up. You know what I'm saying?
I feel confident in my ability to rate these cigars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like respect to y'all, but I don't think y'all giving the time that we give to these cigars. So I'm gonna trust our ratings at this point in time.
So this is how we're gonna go about it. We're gonna rattle off our top five a piece. I'm gonna have a top five. Jared's gonna have a top five, and some of these might meet up. They might not. I don't think we got any repeats. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But if we have any repeats that match up, we're talking about my specifically top five for the year, and we're gonna talk about Jared's top five for the year. And we're gonna see how we measure up.
I didn't go in a particular order. Did you go in order? Like literally?
I did.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Oh, you did it. I was very hesitant to do that. You know what I'm saying? But
mm-hmm.
I probably can swing them in order real quick while we doing it. I freestyle a little quick order. You know what I mean?
Okay. So you want to go 1 for 1? My 5, your 5, or you want to just rattle off 1 through 5? We'll
go 5 for 5. There you go. You go for your 5, then your 4. You go your 5, I go my 5. You go your 4, I go my 4. We'll do it like that. Let me get the list up. You know what I mean? But I messed around and cut my thumbnails back too far, and getting this S Pen out has been a problem.
You got to get in there, man. Hey, look.
I know I'm getting old too because my thumbs is tender right now. I can't do nothing without them joints aching now. Hey, I never had that happen.
Welcome to life in the 40s.
Yeah.
Like, why does this hurt? I don't understand why. All right, so while Jared's pulling up his list, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the cigar I'm smoking today. It is a celebratory type of time of the year, so I had to go with a stick that made me feel like, hey, look, I'm celebrating something. So I got my Cohiba, smoking Cohiba today, Nicaragua.
Okay.
Nice boy. She nice.
Let's see.
And I will say this. So, well, now I'm not gonna say it yet. I'm not gonna say it yet. But Cohiba, shout out to Cohiba. We love Cohiba.
Let's see, man. We'll go there. Oh, I'm making some
Make some adjustments.
Some adjustments here. That's that.
Wait a minute. Notice I seen something. So I'm looking at the cigar that you were smoking today. You didn't announce it, but
I wasn't gonna announce it. I wasn't going to announce it. When you went to your announcement, I was like, I don't have nothing to say.
You don't have to say nothing. You ain't got to say nothing. It speaks for itself.
All right, man. We'll do this. We're running like this, man. We're running like this.
Pairing my cigar with some Clase Azul, by the way. Reposado.
I think that's the order. All right. I think, at least some wiggle room in here because I'm on the spot flying through it, but
if you switch up at any point in time, hey, it's your list. All right, so you ready?
I'm ready.
We're gonna kick this off.
Let's go.
All right. So if you're at home, you're watching this, go ahead, give yourself a drum roll. Give us a drum roll because it's about to go down. All right. So my top five, my number five, coming in at my number five of the cigars I smoked this year. My favorite five, my top five best smokes. Coming in number five, I got H. Upmann in there.
Okay.
H. Upmann made my top five of this year of my best smokes, the 180th anniversary cigar. It smoked like a dream. It smoked like a top-notch cigar that H. Upmann actually took their time. Like H. Upmann's always a name that I'm fond of, right? But they never ever really hit me in the spot to where you were one of my favorites or you had one of my favorites. But they did it. They did their big one this year. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna use that one. They did their big one this year with the H. Upmann 180th anniversary. So we do know that it was crafted by Rafael Nodal and AJ Fernandez. So with the balance, bringing that tradition, the Nicaraguan feel into the H. Upmann brand, crafted perfectly. 180th anniversary was a celebratory stick, and they made sure that they did it right. So it made my top five. At number five, H. Upmann 180th anniversary cigar.
Okay. So for me, my number five is a brand that we always show love to, but it doesn't necessarily normally crack our top five cigar kind of love. You know what I'm saying? But it's always teetering in that range like it wants to get there. It's going to crack my top five this year because I got a very special smoke that I did enjoy this year from them. And this particular stick is going to be the Monte Cristo Espada Oscuro.
Monte Cristo, okay.
At number five. That stick hit me in a lot of different places. And I believe, if I remember correctly, it only had one issue that I had with it that probably really could have took it straight to the moon. You know what I'm saying? As far as the score goes. So for that reason, I don't know if it was a one-off issue or if it was, I don't think it was a common issue. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just a little issue at the moment. But this cigar, I'm going to go with for my top five. That Monte Cristo.
Monte Cristo, cracked it. Okay.
Espada Oscuro.
Espada. Okay, Monte Cristo. Shout out to Monte Cristo. Like you said, it's one of those names that when you hear Monte Cristo, it's synonymous with understanding, hey, this is a quality cigar. So I'm glad it cracked the top five for us. All right, man. You ready for number four?
Let's do it.
All right, so here we go. My number four. I had to put them in there. I had to do it. And if I'm not mistaken, this might be one of the only ones in the price point that we smoked this year, that upper echelon price point. When I talk about upper, I'm talking about upper echelon. But it held its weight for the price point. And we might come under some heat for this because some people have mixed feelings about it. Because I watched other reviews and other reviews slammed it, but I trust my palate and I trust what I smoked, and I really enjoyed the smoke. At number 4, I'm going to give it to Rocky Patel, the Conviction. Rocky Patel Conviction cracks my top 5 for the year. It was a great smoke. I don't care what anybody has said about it. If you go back and you look at any reviews and they slam it, oh, it's $100 cigar. Rocky could have did way better. Blah, 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 whatever. Okay, that's how you feel. But for me, when I think about cigars in that $100 range, and we smoked a few of them, to me, the construction of it, the class of it, the way it's presented, the gold bar, I love it. You know, the aesthetic off rip from when you go to just purchasing it. You know what I'm saying? The aesthetic from purchase to lighting, the clipping and lighting is already up there, in my opinion. And hey, look, I'm a gimmick guy. Give me the gimmicks. It's okay. I'll take the gimmicks because the gimmicks, for one, lets me know that I'm getting something in the presentation that I'm spending the money on. I'm putting money into the experience as well. So from that to the construction of it, when you hold a cigar in your hand, it feels like a solid stick. When you light it and smoke it from beginning to end, it smokes extremely well. And then all the notes, they hit me right where I like to be. It's a great smoke. I like the Rocky Patel Conviction even at $100. Keep it there. Rocky Patel Conviction, number 4.
Number 4. You know, you prefaced your setup for number 4 in a way that really led me to believe we were going to name the exact same stick.
Oh, yeah?
And then you went off this way. But it lets me know we're here. We're thinking in the same vein. We just took 2 different paths.
Okay. Where we at?
Number 4 for me, I felt like, how do I come up with a list without honoring my newfound affinity for spicy sticks?
Okay.
You know, so how do I not acknowledge one? And I just have to think to myself, what was the best spicy stick of 2024 for me personally? And I went with the Plasencia Amatepe is number 4 in that same $100 price range. So people can feel how they feel about it. I didn't watch a lot of reviews on it because I don't really be caring what people got to say. But I heard positive stuff in the reviews that I did happen to come across. So for me, I say, Plasencia, you get the nod. You for the spicy stick of the year in my boat. So in my book anyway. So I'm going to put that in at number 4. I thought it was a good stick and I enjoyed it, you know, at the price point. Even at the price point, I enjoyed it.
Hey, all right, so I'm going to say this. So it did make my top 5. All right, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. It did make my top 5. Not because it wasn't a great smoke or it wasn't a great spicy cigar. It's just when I had to consider other Plasencias, I was like, okay, do I eat up my top 5 with Plasencias? Because I can go top 5 for Plasencia. Nylon.
Yeah.
So I might have used a little bit of bias only because an opposite of bias, right? I guess because if you were to go bias, I would like just go.
You were trying to prevent bias from occurring.
I was trying to prevent bias from occurring. So I had to leave that one off my list only because I didn't want to riddle my list with Plasencia. It was hard too. It was hard to leave some Plasencias off my list only for that fact.
I had that conversation with myself.
I give it to you. Did you?
I had that conversation with myself. And at the end, we'll discuss what I decided, you know, concerning that conversation. But we'll continue.
We'll continue. All right, man. So we at number 3? Number 3. So for my number 3, man, just got rid of it. I want to make sure I'm able to talk about this bad boy. All right, so this number 3, right? This made a last minute entry into my top 5. If you would have asked me a month ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, what my top 5 look like, this one would not have been on it. Only because these sticks were, for me, for my market of where I'm at, they're hard to get their hands on. I don't know about other markets, but I know from my markets, all the markets I've been in, they're hard to get your hands on. So I finally got my hands on it. Finally got a chance to smoke one of these bad boys, and come to find out there's a whole lot of these bad boys. And believe it and or not, this might not even be my favorite of these bad boys, because I smoked another one off the show, and I kind of wanted to just keep it true to the show and not really speak on anything that I didn't smoke on the show. Yeah. But I feel like just me bringing up this cigar and putting it in my top 5 is enough to shed light on the whole brand itself. So whichever way you go in this lineup, you probably are going to land on a pretty nice cigar. So I had to throw it in my top 5. It came in last minute, hard hitting, and it got up in there. Opus X, Forbidden, 2024. I haven't seen it in my humidors a lot. I've always seen them, in cigar magazines or Cigar Post, and I follow the Garcia family, and I keep up with the things that they're doing. Well, I'm not Garcia family, but the Fuente family, and I keep up with what they're doing. And I always see Opus X, but I can never get my hands on the Opus. But I happen to get my hands on the Opus. They rolled them out for the holidays. You've seen them on your side. I've seen them on my side in several cigar spots. Not just the one I picked them up from, but I went to another cigar spot last week, and they had the whole table laid out. I walked in, I paused. They were like, Merry Christmas. When the people said to me when I walked in,
they knew.
They said Merry Christmas. I just stood at the table, like they had it right at the front door. And I'm like, ooh.
They're like, we got that on. Yeah, we got it today.
Got him. You want one of those, don't you? It's like, yeah. I'm gonna have to give you one of these. But yeah, Opus X Forbidden, man, that thing smoked like a dream. I don't know if it's the best that Opus has to offer. Like I said, I smoked another one. I can't remember the name of it. I wish I had it on the top of my head. Or the other one I smoked, because I bought 2 that day. And the one I smoked second was actually a little bit better than the one I had on the show. But this one still that I had on the show was still phenomenal. So I don't know if it's the best that Opus has to offer. As a matter of fact, as you said, it's not one of the best that Opus has to offer, because I smoked the one that was slightly better. But how high that this whole Opus line goes, I am excited to see and excited to try to explore. But for this list particularly, Opus X Forbidden 2024 cigar makes my top 5 at number 3.
Number 3. All right. Not surprised to hear that made the top 5. I'm not. With that being said, here's where it got tricky for me. 2 and 3. I was torn just now, and I made a decision in the moment of who was going to get 2 and 3. I knew who was going to get 5 and 4. I didn't know who was going to get 2 and 3.
Okay.
I ended up doing exactly what you did. I did some reverse bias. I tried to prevent bias from occurring, and that's how this one ended up at 3. And because I had to think to myself, I think 2 I like better, but 3 as a package just had everything, which put it there. And I really like 3 as a brand better than I like 2 as a brand. So I was like, you know what? If it's just about the cigar, this one deserves to be ahead of it. So that's how number 2 got his place and number 3 got his place. But I enjoyed the hell out of this cigar this year. Number 3 for me was Oliva V Milenio 2024. The 2024.
Come on now.
I just love Oliva. I love Oliva. I really do. I like Oliva cigars. You know what I'm saying? I think they always get it right. They keep it minimal as far as how many series they're gonna roll out and variations, but it's just always solid, man. Oliva, Arturo, they all kind of in that vein for me. Were those ones that just like they're very dependable. You know what I'm saying? Like they're dependable sticks for me. Maybe they won't ever get to that number one spot, but they always can potentially be in your top 5 at any point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this year, they found a spot at number 3.
Okay, so let me ask you this real quick before we move on to number 2. Or not. Well, let me state this and then let me ask you. I feel like what Oliva is to you, and I love Oliva too. I feel like what Oliva is to you is what my father's is to me. Do you feel like that's correct?
That's probably right. It's probably right. And my father's is another one. My father's, Arturo Fuente, Oliva, they just those ones that
they get it right.
They're very stable. You know what I'm saying? Like dependable cigars. Like, they might not go to number 1, but they always gonna be right there in the pack. You know what I'm saying? Competing in that top spot. I always feel confident to pick one up from anything they got. You know what I'm saying? I'm confident to do this and pull out when I go to their sections. Yeah. So yeah.
And look,
3 brands I love.
Situation where like you go to a humidor and they have like a promotion of buy 4 get 1 free, right?
Yeah.
I ran into that situation a couple of times. Like, oh, you get a free one, right? You get 4, you get the 5th one for free. Like, oh, okay. Yeah. And anytime I get to that situation to where I'm allowed to get that 5th free cigar, it's 1 of 3 places I'll go: Fuente, Oliva, or my father's, and just grab it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, you get the 5th one for free. Oh, all right, my father's. Let me go ahead and get one of those. I'm good. You know what I mean? Oliva, let me go ahead and let me get a V real quick. Let me get an O. Let me get a G.
Yeah.
Let me get an M. I ain't seen that one yet. Did you see the what I sent you earlier today?
Yeah, I saw it. It looked good. It looked good. I have not. You introduced that to me. Put it on my radar, and it's like I need to get that.
Yeah. So for 2025, do I have a New Year's resolution? Yes, it's to smoke that M.
Yeah.
It's to find that M and smoke that M. That Oliva M.
I hope I remember. I hope I remember to look for it. Not just remember to buy it. Because if I see it, I'm gonna get it. But I hope I remember to be intentional about finding it.
Don't worry, I won't let you forget. I won't let you forget. Don't worry about it.
I think that's a resolution for me too. Is the M.
All right, man, you ready? Going on to number 2?
Number 2. Yeah, let's go.
Man, we went through these fast. I'm excited about number 1. All right, so number 2. This comes from a really reputable cigar group. They do these cigars really well, and they are extensive. But of their extensiveness, they have a certain knack for some of the highest quality cigars that I've ever got my hands on. And whenever you get your hands on them, sometimes they're hard to acquire a lot of them. Because when I go to the humidors and I see them, it's always limited 2 per person.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's T52, whether it's number 9, whether it's H99.
Yeah.
But it's neither one of those that made my top 5 for this year. This one, I don't know if they'll make any more of these. Like, I mean, because it's always like, year of the snake, year of the whatever.
Yeah, year of the rat.
This one particularly, this one, you just said it. This one particularly is Liga Privada's Year of the Rat. Now you good. It could have been any Year of the Rat. It could have been any Year of the Rat. But specifically, Drew Estate's Liga Privada's Year of the Rat. My gosh, that cigar. Like when I went back, so check this out. I haven't smoked one since, right? But as we went back, I don't know. I'm pretty sure you did your research similar to mine. I'm going back through the episodes. I'm looking at the cigars I smoked. I listened to some of the reviews. I didn't even have to get to the review. I clicked on the episode. I said I saw Year of the Rat. I'm like, ooh,
that one.
Man, that one, that one, and that nostalgia came back immediately of how I felt when I smoked that stick. So this is going off of, this is way earlier than I think I smoked this back in January. So it's almost a year ago the last time I smoked this. But when it rang in my head and I went back and I was like, ooh, yeah. And then I watched a little bit of the episode and I saw my reaction like, yep, I did love that stick. Exactly
Yeah,
how I felt as soon as I saw the name and then watching the episode, like, yeah, I remember how I felt when I smoked
it
that stick.
matched.
It matched. And yeah, it's Liga Privada, man. Liga Privada does them very well. T52, top notch. Number 9, top notch. But that year of the rat, man, they did something special with that bad boy. They did something super special. I got my hands on that year of the rat. I smoked it, and it got my year started off at a high level. I was through the roof already, starting the year off with that year of the rat. So my number 2 goes to Liga Privada's year of the rat.
Okay. So we went on similar paths. We're coming up with our top 5. As you mentioned, we wanted to come up with our top 5 with more so cigars that were smoked on the show than off air. You know what I mean? So I wanted to be sure that I showed favoritism to cigars I smoked on air. So we went through a little bit of the same process of kind of reviewing old episodes and just seeing what we smoked throughout this year and seeing how we felt about it. And I made it a focus of mine for 2024 to shine light on lesser known cigar brands. Not saying unknown per se, some unknown along the way, but just not to spend the whole year rattling off the big names, the Cohibas, the Romeos, the Olivas, the My Fathers, the Arturo Fuentes, and whoever, you know what I'm saying? All the big names that you can name, Rocky Patel, you know. So on that journey along the way, I'm very proud to say I found a cigar that I really love this year that did not fall into the top tier names. It's a known name, but I'd say more in the middle tier. And it is actually going to make my number 2 this year. And I'm going to go with the Joya de Nicaragua Dark Corojo El Martillo.
Okay. Okay. I did not see Hoya coming. Okay.
That was one of my higher rated cigars of the year. And I had nothing bad to say about it. And I was very positive in what I had to say about it. I enjoyed that cigar a lot, you know. And so I'm proud. I'm proud to put it at 2. It was competing for 3, but I switched it to not show bias because at the end of the day, I did like that cigar better. Just cigar for cigar. Not the packaging, not the whole presentation, not all of the bells and whistles, just cigar for cigar. Pound for pound, I enjoyed that cigar more. And I'm happy to say I'm putting at number 2 one of those brands that may not get that look. You know what I'm saying?
So, hey, shout out to Hoya. And I got to say it too. I've smoked a couple of Hoyas this year, I think on the show. And I never had anything bad to say about it. I actually enjoyed a few of them. So, hey, Hoya, hey, they could be a sleeper. They could be coming. For you to put it at number 2 above all those other ones that we already named?
Yeah, Monte Cristo, Plasencia, Oliva, you know what I'm saying? But even then, as we're learning, Plasencia is not really a top tier popular name. They behind the scenes. They like ghostwriters. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, everybody knew Neo before he became Neo, but the public didn't know. Everybody knew the Dream pen behind the scenes before they became artists. So now they're stepping to the forefront to be artists themselves, you know. So, but the other 2, Oliva and Monte Cristo, big names. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. But so, hey, look. So I would say this: the company to watch out for, other than Plasencia, because Plasencia, they've been making waves. They have been making waves. Their name is not all the way up there just yet, but they've been making waves. But I would dare to say that a sleeper brand would be that Hoya.
Yeah,
they're a sleeper brand because I've had some really good experiences with them. They're coming. So 2025 might be the year to look out for them.
Hopefully they have a breakout year. You know what I'm saying? And I have to continue to visit them. You know, because this was one. You know, so hopefully they got some more in the stash like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of one,
shout out to Hoya. Speaking of one,
Yeah.
Here we go with the number one. Should I go? Should you go? I think I don't know, because you could you I don't know how you feel.
Let's count down.
We could possibly do
we'll
this
count
together.
from 5. We'll count from 5 and just see what happens. You know what I'm saying? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Placencia Alma Fuerte. Colorado.
The green band.
The green
band.
Today's
the one you're smoking today. I already knew it, man. I already knew it.
Number one cigar.
So
best in the business, best in the game. You know, I down that hill. You know, prove me wrong. You know.
Yeah. Hey, so what's funny is this: the irony of this whole situation right now is we had a first time ever situation that we smoked on the show where we smoked 2 cigars in one episode.
Yeah.
Because we had to see, right?
Yeah. Put it up against Cohiba. Our favorite Cohiba. Put it up against.
Our favorite Cohiba. I believe I smoked the black, you smoked the blue. I can't really remember. But we smoked Cohiba. Smoking Cohiba today. You're smoking Placencia Alma Fuerte today. And we went cigar for cigar, back to back. Lit up the Cohibas first. This is nice. I like this cigar. It's cool.
Yeah.
Lit up that Placencia Alma Fuerte, Colorado. Immediately after, I looked at you, you looked at me, it was like,
sorry, Cohiba, you got to go. And I might not finish you.
I might not even go back. I got to finish this one first. I'm sorry, man. It is something to be said about that Placencia, specifically Alma Fuerte, the green band. It is something extremely special about it. I don't know what they do to that particular cigar. We've had the 151s, the 149s, we've had the reserve, we've had the Fuerte, I mean the Fuegos, we've had the black band, we've had the so many of them, right? That we know about and we can get our hands on. And they're all great. They're all great cigars. All great cigars. I have not had one bad Placencia. But when you put them all in a lineup and you go all of these Placencias, but then you have that green band, you just put that one off to the side. Everybody else is here. That one is here.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know how.
Above the competition.
Notches above. Not notches above.
Yeah.
Now, not even the competition, but just the Placencias. Then if you put them with the competition of other cigars and other brands, it's still notches above. It's like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Something special, man. They sprinkle pixie dust in this cigar. You know, when they
pixie dust,
when they start hand rolling
a little bit of bowberry biscuit, icing or whatever they, you know what I'm saying? Some kind of, I don't know. But my experience and your experience, they kind of mirror. But whatever it is, man, that is to me still hands down, and for 2024 for sure, the number one top cigar of the year.
I agree, man. Without a doubt. And while we at it, I'm gonna say Placencia in general is the number one brand in the business also, with the number one cigar. You know, so
number one brand.
Hopefully the rest of the world catch up to it, you know, because I don't think I'm realizing quickly they don't have the popularity I thought they did, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm so ingrained in their world that I thought other people was on it, but apparently not. You know. So I scream to the hills that this is it, and I hope they blow up. They need to blow up. You know what I'm saying?
Man, and look, I don't
want them to go out of business. So keep going, keep pushing it.
Keep pushing it. For those who do love Placencia, keep buying them. If you don't know about Placencia, we're telling you today, go get you some Placencias, one, so we can keep them in business. But man, hey, look, when I go to Cigars International and I'll go to the Placencia section, it looks so sad. It looks sad. Of all the cigars they have around the humidor in there, and how they have things set up so nicely, You go to the Placencia section, either they're buying them out to where they just can't keep enough in stock, or they just don't keep them in stock. I don't know what it is, but you go to that area and it just looks sad.
They got to be buying them up, bro. It ain't no way. Got to be buying them up. Either way. I think it's safe to say this is Burning Cigars, Cigar of the Year, top brand of the year. And while we on the conversation of being the top brand, we talked about, you said you just couldn't fill your list up with Placencia. I want to double back to that part of the conversation.
Okay.
Because I had to fight with myself over that. I was like, am I going to just fill my list up with Placencia? And I thought to myself, why not? Why wouldn't I? If they are the top, why wouldn't I put them at the top? Why do I have to bring their greatness down to build other people's greatness up? So that's how the Amatepe ended up in there. But even then, I had to find balance in that theory that I had. So the 151 Coseca came off, but it was up there. But it will be an honorable mention for me because
it's definitely
cigars that I smoked a lot of this year off camera was the 151 Coseca, and I rediscovered my love for the Edge Habano, and I spent a lot of time with those two off camera. So those are honorable mentions from me, just stuff that kept me, in my day-to-day throughout the week.
Hey, if you saw my list prior to, I did write down 151 before I started going back through the episodes, and then I realized I didn't smoke a 151 on the episode, but it's one that I wrote down. I never smoked the 150. I thought I smoked the 151 on the show, but I guess it's something I had, and I raved about it to you and went on about it. But it's definitely one that I had in mind to put on my list. So hey. They do it, and they do it right. Shout out to Placencia.
And I actually had a Cohiba and a EP Carrillo that was very on the outside of the list when I started narrowing it down to get to 4 because I knew what 1 was. I had to get 4. Those 2 got knocked off the list. But yeah, that's it for 2024 cigar review, though, man. I mean, our top cigars. That's our top 5 right there.
That's our top 5. Hey, so it's a list, in my opinion, that you can trust. We put our stamp of approval on those sticks. Those are cigars that you can go out and you will definitely have a great time if you grab any one of those
9. Any of those 9, you'll be good to go. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, man. So now that we got that out the way.
Yeah. Let's review 2024 as a whole while we at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we reviewed our top 5 cigars. I don't know. Do you want to go top 5 moments of 2024? Or do you just want to talk about 2024?
Let's just talk about 2024. Because I don't really know if I have a top 5. If I have top 5 moments, there's definitely some great moments.
Come up with top 5.
We can definitely come up with some. Yeah. So let's go ahead and kick it off. What's on your mind about 2024?
The year, we have to start with Cat Williams because it started with Cat Williams. So, I mean, Cat Williams set 2024 off so hard, and it just kept snowballing. Yeah. I mean, we the comedians went to beefing, and the rappers went to beefing, and we got then the R&B singers started beefing, and then the politicians was beefing, and then the aliens came out. Like, it went crazy. Like, the politicians got shot. Like, the year went nuts.
It was wild. Hey, look, Cat Williams,
presidents got killed and stuff. It was like
Cat Williams' joint was Dwayne Wade's lob to LeBron James. That picture that you see with Dwayne Wade going like this and LeBron's, that's Cat Williams throwing a lob
to 2024.
The 2024 and 2024 coming behind it like that joint. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what it was. Hey, so Cat Williams definitely kicked it off. That's a highlight moment. Shannon Sharp ate really good off of that interview. I remember watching the interview and then seeing the traction of it, and like he cracked another million and another million and another million and another million. It's like, man, this thing is going crazy.
Yeah, man. That went crazy. And then somehow Cat pointed the finger towards Puffy, and Puffy caught some residue, and his year got real awful after that. Like,
ooh, real awful. So, hey, that's another top moment of 2024 is Diddyfication. I have you want to label it, but when Diddy happened and he finally went down, the raids happened, the video came out.
yeah, man. Diddy crashed. He crashed so hard, the residual pulled Jay-Z down. He caught some. He's still fighting, trying not to get swallowed by 2024. But, 2025 was his year anyway. So
talking about Diddy ain't his friend. Like, me and Diddy ain't never been friends. Come on now.
I know. Thousands of pictures of them at parties and hanging out in places, but we ain't cool. So you got that. And then Drake's career is in shambles. I don't know if he gonna make it in 2025.
Man, hey, look,
the rise of Kendrick Lamar, like he wasn't already a top dude. Like
Kendrick Lamar and the Drake beef, that is definitely that might be top 1, 2 moment, like 1 and 2, depending on how you look at it. When it comes to popular culture, when it comes to how people view, I guess new rap beef, and just the approach of bringing down another giant, because Drake took that really hard to the point that he's suing a whole record label. You know what I'm saying? Not the small, he Universal Music Group.
Yeah,
he's going after the big boy. You know what I'm saying?
If I lost to Kendrick's clone, I'd be upset too. You know what I'm saying? So it's
he lost to a clone.
He lost to the clone, Kendrick. Like, I don't even know how that happens. So like, he took a nasty L. And he's just not handling the L well. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like, Kendrick said, I just strangled me a goat on his album. And I'd be damned if the boy didn't. Like, it's really shocking to see a guy like Drake go that long on top. And in one moment, it's all just the rug is snatched from beneath him. And all his greatness is gone. And it's like everybody couldn't wait to do it. Yeah, that was shocking to see that.
The thing about Drake, right, is when Kendrick lifted the veil on Drake, it was wild to me, right? And I didn't realize how many people didn't understand the persona of Drake. And I had to look at it like, okay, well, when Drake came out, we were like mid-20s or whatever. We saw the Degrassi Drake, and we saw him become who he became, and the persona that he took on, and we knew that that's not really Drake's personality.
Yeah.
He's who he is, and he's playing a rapper. I always felt like Drake's playing a rapper, the rapper persona, which was fine by me. It's all in artisticness, and nobody comes down on an actor for playing a gangster in a movie, but then he comes back, he has his English accent, and he's sipping tea and crumpets, but then he gets on screen and he puts on the hardest accent. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I looked at Drake as that individual, but come to find out, the people who are a lot younger than us, 5, 10 years, maybe 20 years younger than us, who all they know is the Drake persona, didn't realize who Drake really was behind the veil.
And they only know future Drake forward. They didn't know like the singing R&B, only making songs for women Drake. They didn't even know that one. You know what I'm saying? Like, we watched all his variations of himself, like he evolved a lot
through the years, through all the different personas, and it's like, wow, they took it hard as far as them understanding, like, nah, like, I never heard Drake's real accent. I never heard him talk like that. Like, we been heard him talk like that. You know what I'm saying? When he called Lil Wayne little Wayne and this and that, like, we knew. But the young people who are like 25. You got to think, when they maybe came into music, it might have been 15 years ago. So they know Drake from a certain age range and that 2014 and up. They don't know the Drake in 2008, 2009. You know what I'm saying? And even before, when he was just the kid on Degrassi. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it was weird to see that. But so shout out to the whole Kendrick and Drake beef. Didn't think it was something that we're going to talk about, and we revisit that on the show.
Multiple times. Again. That's why it's a big moment. It was a battle that was like no other.
Couldn't ignore
it. And shout out to the way they did it. They really did. It was it's the only battle of its kind. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's never been an internet battle that played out that way.
Yeah,
you know,
in the saga that it was
at that high level too. And yeah, it's the irony behind that is, you know how I've always felt about Drake. Drake was never my guy. Like,
right.
And it's funny because it took him all the way up until pretty much this year or so, or maybe last year, 2023, 2024, to gain my respect to the point where I'm just like, I give up. I give up waving this flag that I wave with, like, I don't get like, I don't get the hype. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, all right, he's that guy. I have to acknowledge he's that guy because y'all been telling me he's that guy for like 16 years. Like, and then I watch him get crushed and everybody turned their back on him. Like, they didn't play all his music and rave how great he was. And now I'm on the side. I find myself in 2024 on the side of defending him at times.
Really?
And when I spent the whole time being the only guy against him most of the time. Like, don't get me wrong. I didn't hate Drake, but I never really.
You was never super fond of him. Yeah, you was never super fond of him.
Yeah, like he might have a joint here and there, but for the most part, I'm like, why y'all love this guy? Like,
I mean, like, and don't get me wrong,
it's kind of uncomfortable for me now
making really great music. Yeah, he's made great music. He's had his shining moments, man. Like, so I give him that, and he's never backed down from a beef, whether it was with Common or Kendrick or whoever. Like, he's never backed down from a beef. So I give him a nod to that, a salute to that. So hey, he's somebody who's outside of hip hop who ingratiated himself in hip hop and became a hip hop guy.
Yeah,
I give it to him.
Yeah, man. 2024, we watched Donald Trump get popped and then get shot at again. Was it fake? Was it real? Was it
yeah.
We almost got our first female president. That didn't work out. He's back in.
But the twerk fest.
We had a lot of twerk fest. That was new. You know what I'm saying? Like
you really think that's the way to connect with Black culture? Is twerking?
Yeah,
with Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B. You think that's what we want? That's what we want. Okay, I got you. Bet. And you didn't win.
That didn't work out too well. Big moments of the year. Big moments. I know we missing another big moment.
The Olympics.
Hey man, Bronny James actually made it to play with his father, LeBron James. That was a big moment.
That's crazy. Big moment.
Yeah,
it's never happened in NBA. In the NBA, yeah, never happened in the NBA before.
Yeah,
never thought it would be. I mean, the fact that LeBron stayed in the league that long and relatively healthy and capable and played alongside his son, that's a big moment. 2024 gave us that.
Yeah,
2024 gave us the Detroit Lions.
Man, no, they didn't.
Greatest season they've ever had.
2025 is going to give us the end of the Lions in a Diddy form, in a Diddy fashion. We're going to watch y'all crash like Puff.
Crash.
I can't wait for January. It's going to be exciting.
Come on, man. 13-2, man. We've never done that before in the history of the franchise. Sure. Give it up to 2024 for the Detroit Lions.
Hey, look, notice I didn't say 2025. I mean, notice I didn't say February. I said, y'all gonna crash in January.
2025 in January?
Yeah. But, man, I said the aliens earlier. They came out. We had them show themselves. And then we had the actual government acknowledge it. Like, that was one of those underrated crazy moments when the government just was constantly having meetings about aliens. A lot of them too. Like, discussing this. Underrated moment of 2024 is that.
And then I don't understand how big that is for the government to acknowledge it. That's something that they've always ran from. Yeah, like they've always ran. Oh, ain't no UFOs. No sightings. Nah, it wasn't no sighting. Y'all tripping. Always trying to make excuses. This is
the crazy part about how they acknowledged it. You know what's even crazy about how they acknowledged it? They acknowledged it in a way that's acknowledging there's a shadow government. You know what I'm saying? Because there are government figures meeting with whistleblowers, trying to find out how do we get the information. And the whistleblowers is like, I've signed stuff. I can't tell you in this forum how to do it, but there are people that know the information. So there are government figures that have information being hidden from them, and they're trying to figure it out. So that is crazy, because that lets you know that other people, everything in our government is on a need to know basis. There are people that are doing stuff behind high-ranking people's backs, and they don't even know.
And we
learned
in order
that.
for them to
really
get to
about
or resolving it, is that they had to put it on a public forum in order to gain access to the people who are doing the things behind the government's back. It has to be displayed. Yes. That's wild. That's wild. The fact that we are here, man. 2024 gave us robots.
Lots of robots, man.
We robotic now, man. Hey, look.
Robots, bro.
Hey,
amazing.
I would say that 2024 in the advancement of certain things is probably a year that probably will go down in a historic fashion, as far as where we are going as a society, a worldly society. Not just talking about the United States or particular classes or whatever, but as a world, the whole world, around the world. 2024 showed us a lot, to where we understand where the future is going. Crypto, AI, robots.
AI blew up in 2024. AI got crazy 2024. And man, and what's also interesting is we watched really a surgence in TikTok, and now we're almost watching the death of TikTok. And we watched, and I say TikTok specifically because that seems to be a platform that really gave a lot of information. It was a very informative platform where it brought a lot of people worldwide together through information in a way that you didn't necessarily get on Facebook or Instagram or even YouTube.
A lot of stuff that we talk about, it's come through me just randomly scrolling through TikTok, and here's information that you and I can find anywhere else.
Very informative platform, and we're about to watch the death of it, courtesy of our government. Maybe, unless
which is that's the reason why
to fight it.
That's the reason why you can't keep allowing certain information to get out at the rate that it gets out, in the manner that it gets out. So you can have to do something to suppress it.
And you can have plausible deniability and blame it on China, since it's a Chinese app, even though they're acknowledging themselves. Hey man, just because we were made here don't mean the government is, involved in this. But it's an easy out for our government to say, nah, y'all can't do it. Meanwhile, you know how many Chinese people own our land over here in this country, but they don't care about that? Like, you're not worried about that? Those people that are citizens over there buying our land over here, buying houses over here. That's part of the reason the market's bad. People can't find inventory. It's because other countries are buying up these houses.
Are buying up our land. That is crazy.
Yeah.
That's I don't think that can happen in any other country other than here. I don't know, because I'm not to that level of living just yet, so we're knowing whether I'm saying I can go buy me some land in China. I highly doubt it.
I wouldn't think we would be competing with them. It should be like, you should be at the back of the list of people if you're not but
facts.
Money. That's American issue, is we love money, and our government loves money more than it loves us.
And speaking of money, like I mentioned cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency has made a huge shift and change in 2024, to where I am eager to see what's going to happen in 2025. Nervously, right? Either we're going to see a steep decline in crypto, to where we're going to try to wipe crypto out, or we're going to see this huge boom. It's going to be one of the two polarizing extremes of whether crypto gets wiped out in 2025, at the top of 2025, or we're going to explode at the top of 2025.
Yeah.
I'm holding on to my seatbelt, whichever way it goes. Whether we nosedive or whether we shoot, it's going to be one or the other, not in between. So a lot of the things that we've seen in the, I'd say like the last 4 or 5 years, where we've seen a steady incline, we've seen these dips and incline build back, we're going to see one of the two polarizing extremes when it comes to how we view and how we utilize and the implementation of cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Because of what you just stated.
Hey, man, I'm going to say this. Life tends to move in peaks and valleys and stuff, just like a stock chart. You know, you look at it as ups and downs and stuff. So I don't know if 2025 can quite be what 2024 was, because 2024 was like an all-time high compared to other years, you know what I'm saying? In recent years. But so 2025 very well could be a little bit of a dip in comparison to 2024, but I think the residuals from 2024 will lead to some very interesting things in 2025. And I personally look forward to seeing what's to come this year. I'm excited about what's to come for all of us. I expect great things for all of us in 2025, man. And that's how I feel to end it out, you know, on my end.
Yeah. And I echo those sentiments, because like you just mentioned right there, right? That 2024 was so turbulent, good and bad, but turbulent nonetheless, right? That it's going to be a setup for the next turn.
Yeah.
Whatever the turn goes, with all the things that happen in 2024, it's a setup. It's the best setting stage for whatever 2025 holds for us. Which, hey, I got my seatbelt on, because we can have some. It's going to be either explosive or not. It's going to be crazy or whatever. Like, it's very unpredictable at this point, to where sometimes you can predict, okay, it's going to be a solid, steady year for 2019, or 2018 is going to be this, or it's going to be a surprise in 2020. 2024, in the history of my life that I've been living, has been the greatest setup year. The greatest year for a setup, whichever way it goes. Whichever way it goes.
Hey, man. Happy New Year's to everybody that watches this episode, man. We appreciate all y'all for tuning in to this week's episode of the Cigars and Everything Else podcast. The wrap up of 2024, Top Cigar, Placencia, and Cohiba. We wishing you all greatness for 2025. We out.
See you next year.
Yeah.